This video will describe the 8th grade registration process. It will talk about our elective class choices as well as our advanced opportunities and our PBLN opportunities. The registration process starts when Mr. Johnson, Stillwell counselor, visits science classes on February 1st. During these meetings, students will receive a green registration packet and a gray curriculum guide. Parent meeting will be held on February 7th at 7 o'clock in the Stillwell Auditorium. The completed and signed forms need to be returned to the science teachers by February 8th. Students will enter their electives into Infinite Campus at the time based on their registration packet. If students do not have their registration packet with them, they will not be able to enter their electives at this time. So it's very important that students hand in their registration packet by February 8th. They can hand it in ahead of time if they would like. When you look at the green registration form that the student brings home, the front page will have a diagram that looks like this. This will show a first and second semester and will include our required classes as well as opportunities to sign up for electives. The first 4 slots there are our required classes, which is English, Math, Social Studies, and Science, which all students will take. And on line 5, we have Physical Education, which will meet every other day. On line 5, 6, and 7, there are opportunities to sign up for our elective courses, and students will fill that out based on what their interests are. On the back of the registration form, you will notice that there is an application for our PBLN, our Project-Based Learning Network, where students are to identify if they are currently on the PBLN team, which is our S team, as a 7th grader, and then identify if they want to be on the PBL team as an 8th grader. Students who are not on the S team this year can still sign up as an 8th grader. So please fill this out and refer to page 7 and 8 for frequently asked questions about the PBLN in the Gray Curriculum Guide if any questions arise. Also on the back of the front page, you will notice a application for advanced courses. There are 3 advanced courses that students can apply for, and those courses are Advanced Physical Science, which is given for high school credit, as well as Advanced Social Studies and Advanced English. If a student who decides to do the PBLN wants to do an Advanced Social Studies or Advanced English, they must choose both of them, since those are in the humanities format where both classes are combined as one class. If you'd like to look at the course descriptions for these advanced classes, please look on page 2 of the Gray Curriculum Guide. If a student decides to take one of our advanced classes, they need to fill out our characteristics of effective learners, which is on the last page of the registration packet. Students and parents need to fill this out together, looking over the different characteristics of effective learner that have shown to have success in our advanced classes. This is a good conversation tool between the parent and the student to identify if advanced classes are an appropriate route. The advanced classes do require more rigor, more responsibility, and so it's very important to go through these characteristics to identify if the student does possess these characteristics, or if there is concerns to possibly think about what route they want to take with those advanced courses. Our advanced courses, as we talked about, there are 3 of them. Our first one we want to talk about is our physical science. This is one key one because it does require a student to take it for high school credit, meaning it will go on a high school transcript. It's a quite rigorous course. It includes both 8th grade and 9th grade content. So it's about almost 2 years of content in 1 year. Very rigorous. There are increased expectations for success in writing, reading, and math skills. If a student successfully completes physical science, it does lead to enrollment in biology as 9th grade, which is the advanced course for science in 9th grade. Students who choose to take social studies and English need to know that reading and writing levels will be at a high level. Also, there will be more extensive projects for students to participate in comparison to the regular classes. Also very important that the students have a strong interest in the science subject matter that they choose. One key thing to note about social studies and English is that it does not gain high school credit as the physical science does. However, it will be at the advanced level, meaning that there will be more rigor in those classes. As we were looking at our eighth grade curriculum, we talked about those advanced classes, but whether they take advanced or not, they will still be taking an English, math, social studies, and science class somewhere in their schedule. And also they will be taking their physical education class every other day. One other required course I want to talk about here is our mathematics. Students who are in a certain math class right now in seventh grade will take a similar track in eighth grade. So for example, if a student is in Math 7A right now, they will be in Pre-Algebra A as an eighth grader. Same for Math 7B. They will take Pre-Algebra B as an eighth grader. A student who is currently taking Pre-Algebra C as a seventh grader will then move on to Algebra C as an eighth grader. And for some of our students who are taking Algebra C as a seventh grader, they will move on to Geometry C as an eighth grader. Both the Algebra C and the Geometry C are for high school credit. Our support classes are classes that meet every other day to support our students in different needs that they may have. If a student is currently in a support class, you will notice that it is written on their registration form. The support classes that we have are listed here at English Language Learners, Extended Learning Program, Learning Lab, Math Resource, Reading Resource, and our Special Education programs. If a student is currently in a support class, you will notice it listed on their registration form on line 5 if they are in one support class. For example, a student who is in ELP will have ELP listed alternating their physical education on line 5 for both semesters. If a student is signed up for reading, as a seventh grader, they will have reading as alternating their physical education in line 5 for both first and second semester of their eighth grade year. If a student is signed up for both or for more than one support class, for example, if a student is signed up for reading and math resource, you'll notice that the classes are listed on line 5 and line 6 of the registration form. This will give an opportunity still for an alternating class to be selected for our line 6 there, and the classes that students get to choose from are our music classes. So they could choose a music class, chorus, band, or orchestra, which we'll explain here in a second, or if they are not in a music class, they can choose a study hall. Our eighth grade music that we have to offer, just like we have in seventh grade, is band, orchestra, and chorus. And just as we showed there, they meet every other day, so those can go alternating our PE or alternating a support class. If a student would like to sign up for just one music, and music is not required, but if a student chooses to sign up for one music, they can put that music alternating their PE in line 5. Student chooses to pick two musics out of those three, they would have one listed in line 5 for both semesters, and they would also have one listed in line 6 as an alternating option there. If a student does not have anything else that they can pick in line 6 as an elective, meaning they are not taking orchestra as well or a support class, they would put a study hall alternating the music in line 6 there. Our eighth grade electives, which are listed on page 3 of our grade curriculum guide, are listed below. Pretty much all of our eighth grade electives are semester-long courses except for Spanish 1, which is a year-long course. Also, all of our elective courses meet every day. So we will be writing our elective courses in line 6 or line 7 of our curriculum or of our registration guide. With Spanish 1, one thing to note is that it's the first year of our high school level Spanish. So it is our Spanish 1 level of the high school level Spanish. It does receive high school credit. So a grade for Spanish 1 will end up on a high school credit or high school transcript. As with advanced courses, it does require quite a bit of academic discipline and does have a lot of rigor and added expectations. One reason why a lot of students will take Spanish 1 as an eighth grader is that it does allow for acceleration. Students later on in high school will have the opportunity to take AP classes in Spanish if they take it as an eighth grader. Students who choose to take Spanish 1 are ones that would want to be taking Spanish as a language as they move on to high school. It is not a required class, so students do not. This is an elective. Students do not have to take Spanish, but it is an option for those who would like to start Spanish a little early. If a student does sign up for Spanish, this is an example here, and they are also signed up for chorus or a study hall, line 5, they would put Spanish in line 6. And since it's full year, you'd put it in line under first semester and second semester of their registration guide. This still leaves room for our for line 7 to still choose another elective. So a student can choose Spanish as an elective and still get the other electives as a choice as well. You will notice this student chose art for one semester and drama for another semester. If a student chooses not to take Spanish in their day, they have the option of taking 4 semester-long elective classes. For example, this student here is taking foods, engineering tech, art, and drama. They are also taking a music class every other day, so they would have a full schedule there. If a student chooses to take electives and would like to have a study hall as well, they would want to identify that study hall in line 7. So for example, this student is taking chorus every other day, and then foods every day for one semester, and engineering tech for another semester. And in line 7, they have chosen to take a study hall, which would mean that they would have a study hall every day. If a student knows that they want a study hall at a certain time of the year, for example, during the second semester or first semester when they know they're going to be very busy, a student would want to identify that on their registration form. This is an example here where a student would choose drama to take first hour, or first semester, they would like to have drama first semester and study hall second semester. By identifying this on the registration form, we can place those study halls in a place that would be most effective with their schedule. The last thing to remember when filling out your electives is to identify an alternative elective. The bottom of the front page there, you will see a spot where it says alternative elective. This gives an opportunity for a student, if they do not get into one of these classes, to possibly get into another elective of their choice. If an alternative elective is not identified, they will just be placed into an elective if they cannot get into an elective. Some reasons why they might not get into elective is based on their schedule, or if the numbers for that elective are very high, we may need to pick another elective. The last thing that is crucial for our registration forms and will be needed when they hand in the registration forms at the end is a parent signature. Parent signature needs to be done both on the front page where the electives are identified and on the back page where the advanced classes and PBLN are identified as well. Please sign both, even if you're not signing up for advanced classes. It shows that, or PBLN, it shows that you have looked it over and identified that is what you have decided to do. So please sign both the front and the back of the registration form. If questions arise, please feel free to contact Mr. Johnson, the counselor at Stillwell. His email address is listed there at the bottom. Otherwise, best of luck in filling out the registration form. Please remember that it is